What do you want to start with?
We kind of have this thing of finishing with the slightly unusual thing.
Okay. Well, we could mix it up completely. Are you looking? Is there something here?
No. I can't if you want.
Not for me.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Not for me.
Yeah. Good.
Just...
Now I know I have these things. Yeah. All right. We'll go with the film. Yeah. Start off with the film.
Go with the film, yeah. Okay.
Oh, actually, we'll start with the.
We said we topsy-turvy that fucking thing, didn't we?
Start with the food
topsy-turvy that motherfucker.
Let's turn it on its head, okay?
Yeah, just really shake, outside the box.
Let's shake things up.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to start with the food trail, yeah?
Look, I know you probably have big expectations. I didn't get you a present this week now.
Why not?
Topsy-turvy in it. I think Lidl have removed sponsorship from us.
Something under that fucking cushion.
That's what you're looking at. See now, you see. Lights, camera, and...
Really nice thing to do on a Saturday morning if you're not doing anything. Between 10 and 12:30, there is a company called Fab Food Trails. They do very small, cosy food walking tours all around Dublin. This is a company that was started by Evelyn Coyle. They do food tours in Dublin as well as Cork. And the Cork one's very good. I've done both of them.
Okay.
And what it is, it's more than just walking around and trying different stuff in your face. Yeah, and you do eat very well over the 2.5 hours. You get to taste lots of really nice things. She might bring you to a cafe that does an amazing gluten-free carrot cake. Then you might go to a place that smokes its own cheese. Then you might go to a chocolatier. I mean, you're grazing continually. Like it's not sit down stuff. It's grazing, but it's really good stuff. You're visiting a company that's run by somebody who is really into coffee or really into chocolate or really into cheese.
In a specific.
Specializing. She'll bring you to food markets. She'll bring you to cafes, bakeries, butchers. She'll bring you to cheesemongers. She'll bring you to a fish shop. Yeah. She'll bring you all over Dublin, and she'll pick out a few places. You'll go there. There'll be someone there waiting with a nice tray of stuff for you to taste. It's very informative for foodies, which there's a lot of. Let's face it, at the moment in Dublin, it really is a super thing to do, and it'll give you a new appreciation for how seriously this country and this city takes food now. They'll tailor it for the different kind of crowds they have. Obviously, if they have a heavily tourist crowd from overseas,
they probably want something different. To be fair,
I don't know. I don't want to speak on their behalf, but they might be able to do something for if children went along with it.
Well, if it was me, I wouldn't even want.
Okay, that's a different thing.
Yeah, it wouldn't be fair. Well, like they're there, brought to all these beautiful places, and they would just go, "Oh, I'm not trying that. Oh, that's disgusting." And just wreck the whole experience. So I'd be
actually leave the kids at home.
Leave the kids at home
to eat their Cheerios, whatever it is they eat.
There isn't a glass of wine, and it'd be too early in the morning, like that sort of thing. Not that is important in any way, shape, or form.
Each one that I've done, I have drunk alcohol in it at some stage.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I did the Dublin one, we went to the Swan pub, which is that very beautiful Georgian pub in the corner there near Angel Street. Yeah. And when I did the one in Cork, we went to Mutton Lane to try a glass of Rebel Red, which is the beer they brew down there.
How much?
I think they're about €50, €55.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it's two and a half hours.
And
it's
and you're full afterwards, you're telling me.
Yeah, I mean your food is sorted out for half the day.
Okay.
You like your noms?
I just love food,
Yeah. Great thing, food.
That's all I have now.
Yeah, it's the only pleasure I have left in life.
That's all I have now, you know.
Remember when the world was my oyster?
Oh, stop.
Really great German film called Victoria, directed by Sebastian Schipper.
When you say German, do you mean it's in German?
It's partly in German, partly in English. It is opening today. It'll be on limited release probably, but you can see it in the IFI or the Lighthouse or selected cinemas basically. One of the interesting things about this film is that it's 138 minutes long, all in one continuous take. So the entire film, it's 138 minutes long.
Somebody turns on the camera.
Turn on the camera and action.
Yeah.
And there's no splicing, there's no editing, there's no cut. it's continually rolling, and there's continuous action in front of you, and the cameras move around the city.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a real feat of filmmaking. This.
Wow.
Now he's not the first filmmaker to do stuff like this. I mean, you remember Birdman that was made by Alejandro Iñárritu a couple of years ago, which won all the Oscars and was itself an incredible film. That was made to look like one take, but there was actually some very subtle editing done throughout it. It also has a great story, superb acting, a great sense of real-time pace to it, a great sense of romance to it as well. Mm-hmm. So you have a Spanish girl who's living in Berlin, played by Leia Costa, and this is Victoria off the title. She leaves a sweaty underground basement nightclub in Berlin, comes out, dawn is just kind of breaking, meets a few lads kind of on the way out, or, they're kind of smoking fags, jeez, how are things, having a bit of a chat, and one of them in particular his name is Sonna. He is quite sort of charming and chatty, and obviously kind of likes her a bit, and he's kind of, come on, let's go and have some drinks. Yeah. And so she goes off with these 4 guys. In the spirit of the night, she decides to tag along with these guys. They get some beers. She quickly kind of sees that they're a little bit devil-may-care. They're a little of a slightly kind of, anarchic attitude to the law. And that she kind of likes that. It kind of transpires that she's a little bit understimulated, a little bit bored, and a little bit lost, perhaps. Yeah. She starts to take a shine to this guy, Sonna, who's played by Frederick Lau. And it's all going one way. It's all going a way that you expect it to be. She's starting to fall for him. He's a little bit edgy but very nice, and he's starting to fall for her. And then it all kind of changes. For the second hour, it turns into the kind of thing where she's driving the getaway car for a bank robbery. Okay, nice premise. Yeah. It is, and it's done very well. And it's done, as I said, in this very kind of naturalistic way where there's nothing is being spliced in. There's no asides, there's no taking off to look at another angle. It's just her, and the whole thing is evolving in front of her. And she comes to like these guys and to trust them, and they say, actually, we have to do this job. Will you help us? And it goes from there. What are you giving it out of 10? I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Quite a hotly tipped band playing tonight in Vicar Street, called Girl Band. 4 guys in Dublin, very interesting, very raucous, very abrasive. They are, without a doubt, one of the most achingly cool bands that has emerged from Ireland in the last couple of years. They brought out their debut album last year called Holding Hands with Jamie. Got rave reviews, got nominated for the Choice Awards. You listened to the album, obviously. Yeah, I reviewed the album for State.ie last year. And do you give some albums a rating? Stars? I do, yeah. I give it 4 out of 5. Okay. I think there's some really fascinating playing on this, and I think there's some very fresh instrumentation. I think there's some... there's a real originality, and there's a real sort of energy about it, which is very exciting and very thrilling to listen to. There's a real edge of danger. That's quite positive about them, yeah. Yeah, it is, and I think it's that edge of danger which has really captured people's attention, because you don't really know what's going to happen. There's a real kind of volatile quality to them. Tickets are still available. They're €19 from Ticketmaster.ie. Nice price. The National Console is one of these places where it's worth checking in every month or so, or signing up to their newsletter, because they do some really interesting programming at the National Console. They've realised that in order to make themselves feasible, they have to attract a variety of different audiences. It's a really great place, and it's a nice change from going to a sweaty club, to see some... Yeah, at your age, anyway. Some average woman, exactly. Am I showing my age? This is something called Imagining Home, which they've done to coincide with the 1916 centenary celebration. And it's a series of concerts, and each concert takes a theme in terms of Ireland today, or Ireland in the past, or Ireland in the future. And it could be something like, for example, on Monday we had America was the theme. So it's about Ireland's relationship with America. There's one in England, which came on Tuesday. It's music? It's music. It's music, but there'll be spoken word interludes. There might be like an acting interlude. It's kind of multidisciplinary, but music would be the heart of it, of course, being the National Concert Hall, being the amazing venue that it is. Darling. Of course. So tonight we have the literary imagination. So that's big literary heavyweights. John Banville, Marina Carr, Kevin Barry, Colm Tóibín, they'll all be there. And it's probably more kind of a spoken word thing. There will be music parts as well. Tomorrow night is This Is Ireland, which is being curated by Glenn Hansard from The Frames. That's so he's got Roddy Doyle there, Joseph O'Connor, Colin McAneamra, Lisa O'Neill.
Oscar award-winning Glenn Hansard.
Oscar award-winning Glenn Hansard will be there.
Wow.
What I like about these things, they don't tell you exactly what's going on. You have to turn up, go along, and see what's happening. But I've been to similar kind of things that the National Council has done to celebrate Yeats, for example, and they're very good, and they're not what you expect. You expect them to be very worthy and very hoity-toity.
And gunk,
yeah, and they're not. On Sunday night is Out of the Tradition, which is where they look at Irish traditional music and its past, present, and future, where it's going to, and the nature of Irish traditional music. You've got some really big names of this. You have Martin Hayes, the fiddle player from Clare, Caoimhín O'Reilly, Irlo Leonard, Dennis Cahill. All four of those guys are in the gloaming, by the way, so you pretty much get a gloaming gig involved in it. Alwyn Fuere, the Irish acting heavyweight, she is going to be there. Like, she is amazing. Whatever she does, go and see her. So it's a really good thing to do. And
very cultural, isn't it?
It is very cultural.
I mean, you could just go and watch Batman, Superman again.
You can watch Batman, Superman, and have a Big Mac. Yeah.